The current trend seems to be favoring a particular aesthetic: upturned eyes and eyebrows reminiscent of a fox, a slender cookie-cutter nose, full pouty lips, and flawless skin without any under-eye bags or imperfections. These are the types of images that dominate modern perceptions of beauty, especially on TikTok and other social media platforms. It's worth questioning whether people realize that while this look is considered beautiful, it leads to a uniformity where everyone starts to look alike. Moreover, many influential female celebrities are opting for similar cosmetic procedures, leading to similarities in appearance. Cosmetic surgeries, often glamorized, carry significant risks and should not be undertaken lightly. Consider the Brazilian butt lift, which, despite being the most dangerous cosmetic procedure, saw a surge in popularity over the last decade. Opting for surgery to emulate someone else's appearance is particularly perilous. It's a decision that can lead to future regret, as exemplified by Bella Hadid's candid reflections on her nose job at the age of 14. It's crucial to weigh the long-term implication of such procedures against the fleeting trends of beauty standards. These trends have gone so far that even plastic surgeons have raised concerns about the alienized look resulting from extreme procedures. This phenomenon reflects the complex interplay between celebrity culture, beauty, and personal identity. There has also been a surge of facial aesthetic influences in the recent years. While they can be helpful in understanding scientific reasoning for certain things related to beauty and aesthetics, it causes many people to develop an unhealthy obsession with the way other people and they look. I know this because I too had fallen into the trap of a perpetual cycle of comparisons and self-loathe. Once you give the average Joe scientific reasoning as to why a certain look is considered attractive, he runs to conclusions like something is wrong with him if he doesn't have those features. He then follows these theories and studies blindly, not knowing the details of how the study was conducted, how big the sample size was, whether the study itself was based on an incorrect assumption, and the bias of the person conducting the study itself, and if a study applies to every single person in the world. These are important questions to ask and consider before religiously following a study or theory. Moreover, the fact that beauty relies heavily on subjectivity. Here's an example of a very popular page, Coves. I'm sure you might have come across it on YouTube. They made a video on how attractive parents might influence their children's looks, and came to a conclusion that based on a study, attractive parents have a higher chance of giving birth to attractive daughters and not much attractive sons. More than 56,000 people have liked this video on Instagram alone, and many comments seem to have taken this as a fact. No shade towards Coves, I'm sure they do their research and don't present studies as facts, but most people are naive and do not bother doing the research themselves or cross-checking it and what it means for themselves. A sample size of 91 is not large enough, and some studies like this need to be taken with a grain of salt. I wouldn't say that it's the channel's fault completely. I just think it should be made clear how the user must consume the content and make their audience aware of the context and nuances of what they are saying. It's also important to consider the psychological impact of social media on beauty standards. The relentless exposure to images that portray a narrow ideal of beauty can lead to a phenomenon known as appearance anxiety, individuals becoming excessively concerned with matching these ideals. While cosmetic enhancements and glow-up culture can be empowering for some, it's essential to foster a culture that values individual uniqueness over conformity to a single beauty standard. Encouraging self-acceptance and challenging the narrow definitions of beauty can lead to a healthier society, where people feel valued for who they are, rather than how closely they resemble a prevailing trend. It's funny how we can categorize certain time periods by simply looking at the way people dressed and presented themselves in society. Since the dawn of time, the way we look has been used to mark the beginning or end of an era. But why do people of a certain time period always look the same and look similar in so many ways? Let's dive deep into the need for human beings to look similar to their counterparts. There is a natural human inclination to mirror the appearance of their contemporaries. This phenomena is partly explained by the similar-to-me effect, a cognitive bias that fosters our preference for those who resemble us in appearance and thought. This bias is also known as affinity bias, underscores our comfort with the familiar. Additionally, people often conform to the prevailing societal norms to gain acceptance among their peers. This conformity can lead to groupthink, where members of a group begin to think alike, resulting in uniform behaviors, speech patterns, and even fashion choices. In the 1950s, for example, women's fashion and beauty routines were categorized by distinct features such as black cat eyeliner and bold red lips, complemented by their styled pin curls. However, the onset of the 1960s saw a dramatic shift. Women embraced a cooler color palette for their makeup, favoring pale lips and bold graphic eyeliner, a stark contrast to the previous decade. Today, a mix of globalization and exposure to diverse cultures and celebrities have led to a more eclectic mix of styles. Yet a new trend has emerged, the pursuit of permanent alterations to one's facial features. No longer limited to clothing and makeup, individuals are now seeking to change their inherent appearance to align with current trends. This shift from fabric to facial features reflects a deeper societal change, where the natural-born beauty is no longer deemed sufficient, and the trend is quite literally becoming one's face. Historically, celebrities often embodied the fashion of their era, yet each maintained a distinct facial uniqueness. Despite the availability of plastic surgery, stars like Marilyn Monroe, who underwent a nose job and possibly a chin augmentation, retained their individual beauty. Sophia Loren, a leading actress of her time, famously rejected a nose job despite pressures from photographers, valiantly stating that she would return to her hometown if they pressured her into changing her appearance permanently. Audrey Hepburn, celebrated as one of the most beautiful women, openly shared her insecurities about her nose. She thought that it was too big. These anecdotes reveal that even the most admired figures had their insecurities, highlighting that it's entirely normal to feel less than completely satisfied with one's appearance. This doesn't necessitate rushing to surgeons or aesthetic clinics for every perceived flaw. Embracing our unique features is a testament to individuality in an era where aesthetic homogeneity is often the norm. These stories of iconic women who grace the silver screen tell us that it's normal to have insecurities, but they also highlight the importance of self-acceptance in a world where aesthetic perfection is often sought after. Their choices stand out as bold statements of self-love and confidence. They remind us that our imperfections are part of us, what makes us unique, and that altering our appearance should be a personal choice, not a response to societal pressures. Megan Fox is deemed the sexiest woman time and again by every media outlet out there. Yet she still feels the need to get treatments and cosmetic procedures. It is completely understandable where she's coming from. She was very young when she was introduced to Hollywood, and many people made her feel less than about herself. Nobody should trash any celebrity for getting work done, rather acknowledge the fact that these women are wrestling their own demons. They are just like us, except with a lot of money and influence. I think they look very beautiful, and the previous face was beautiful too, but they don't necessarily look any better right now. They just look different from their original self. However, there are some celebrities today who still retain their natural and unique appearance, like Zendaya, Anya Taylor-Joy, Emma Watson, and Rihanna. They probably still got one or two subtle procedures done, but it doesn't distract from their natural beauty whatsoever. How someone chooses to spend their money is nobody's business. I only use celebrities as an example on this channel to talk about deeper issues and connect with the audience to make all of you understand that you don't need 10 cosmetic procedures to look beautiful. I don't blame public figures for getting plastic surgery, neither am I anti-plastic surgery. I think it's something that can be quite helpful if done mindfully and in moderation. At the end of the day, we as individuals are responsible for our own actions. Celebrities have a huge following and are responsible for their blatant lies about getting work done time and again. You all need to understand that just because your favorite public figure does something doesn't mean you should too. The most important thing that you can do is to have a mentality shift and build a strong, solid foundation of confidence. Yes, most of us do not look like this, and it's completely fine. Looking like yourself in this day and age is the ultimate flex. If you found this content helpful or informative, please like and subscribe to see more. A simple click will go a long way in supporting my channel.